Hello everyone, my name is Spencer Hines. I'm going to be discussing today motion capture in baseball training for Sport Management 809. Motion capture technology, also known as mocap, was originally created for the use of film and video games. It began being used as early as 1988, and it has allowed film and game makers to give human-like movements to their animated figures. So movies like Avatar, the new Planet of the Apes movies, the characters, a lot of them were created through the use of motion capture technology. The thing about mocap is it has really revolutionized how realistic these movies and video games can become. And the sports industry saw that as useful for their athletes. So people began using it in sports training to gather in-depth biomechanical analyses, because just like movies, we can add animation to the mocap data gathered in our exercises or our sport. So how does mocap work? These movements are captured by placing sensors all on the body. They have suits, or they have sensors that you can just stick on the skin. There's multiple cameras that are placed around the subject to capture different angles. The video is then collected and transferred to the digital program, where it is then analyzed and applied to a digital character or to an animation like it is down at the bottom of the screen. That figure is a really good visual for the process of this development into the skeletal animation. You see in the short clip in the middle screen there, somebody using a tennis racket to hit the ball. They can track the flight of the tennis racket and the velocity of the tennis racket, and they can also see the movements of the muscles and the skeletal system. So you can just kind of see how useful it would be. The graph up top is an additional tool that mocap can be used to analyze with. There's all sorts of graphs that measure speed of body parts, or different angles of different bones. So moving on, mocap in baseball. So motion capture has really become useful in baseball. There's companies like Driveline. They have a mocap lab, or you can go train there. A lot of professional players do train there. You can see their lab in the top middle of the screen there. They are powered by Kinetrax. Kinetrax is a mocap company that is specifically designed for baseball. It actually allows motion capture without the sensors if you wish to put it in a stadium per se. So basically this helps us analyze movements like pitching mechanics, swing, helps us see biomechanical deficiencies and some mechanical flaws. Knowing these things will help us maximize our training. We can target weaknesses and we can train out bad habits because we can see them early. Sometimes it passes the eye test, and sometimes you miss it. And until you get that real in-depth analysis of the skeletal system and the way the body is moving on a deeper level, you don't really pick it up at times. So the future of this technology, it's looking really good. A lot of teams have adopted it. It's just so revolutionary to the way that we can train to a specific sport or movement. It'll help with our health of our athletes because we can pick up unhealthy movements before they become an injury. It has changed the way the game's being taught, and it's just a huge tool that a lot of teams are beginning to adopt. Mocap, I think, will be a part of everyday baseball for teams in the very near future.